So you've just been selected by the Army to become a chaplain and you're headed to CH-BOLC. Well, today I'm going to share with you what an average day at CH-BOLC looks like. So make sure to tune in and check it out. Thank you for tuning in to the Tattooed Chap today. I'm Drew, the Tattooed Chap, and this week we're going to be talking about CH-BOLC. What is it like? What does the average day look like at CH-BOLC? You know, I've been getting a lot of questions on this, and so I decided to do a video on it. But before we jump into what an average day at CH-BOLC looks like, what I'd like you to do is make sure to follow me on Instagram and also follow me on LinkedIn so that way we can know each other professionally. And if you find this stuff helpful, make sure to like and share it. And you know, there's probably other people out there that want to know a little bit about CH-BOLC as well. So anyways, invite people with you on your journey to become a chaplain. So one thing to keep in mind when I talk about what CH-BOLC is like, what the average day looks like, is I went to CH-BOLC in 2017 for the first half, and my second half was in early 2018. So I'm at least 2 years removed, and things may have changed up a bit. So take all this stuff as a general rule, not necessarily as a fact. Things could have changed and probably have changed. So anyways, this is what CH-BOLC was like for me. One thing that makes this video a little difficult is that there is no average day at CH-BOLC. You know, things are going to look different, and there's different phases of CH-BOLC, and each phase looks a little different. So the way I'm going to kind of break down this video is talking about your average classroom day. I'm going to also talk about CIMT, which is the Chaplain Initial Military Training, which is the first part of CH-BOLC. And then I'm going to share some things I think will help you have a great CH-BOLC experience. So let's get started and jump into the CH-BOLC experience. So when you first get to CH-BOLC, basically you're going to be divided up into different platoons. You're going to have squads within those platoons, and you're going to have team leaders at all the different echelons from platoon down to squad and so on and so forth. And people are going to have different assignments and duties according to that. Now, one of the things that is going to be interesting about CH-BOLC, maybe for you, depending on what kind of background you have, is a lot of the assignments and class projects that you're going to be doing are going to be team-based. And why is that? The reason why is because the military is a team-based system. The individual is highly important because an individual makes up a team, but almost everything that you do in the Army is going to have to involve you working with another individual. So those of you that do not like working with individuals or have a hard time working with individuals, CH-BOLC is designed for you to help you with your teamwork skills. So embrace it, enjoy it, and have fun with it. You'll meet some of the best people that you've ever met. So make sure to take advantage of those team building activities and really be a part of the team, because it's what makes CH-BOLC great, is the people, really. So one other thing that's important to know about CH-BOLC is you're going to have former enlisted and former officers that are transitioning into the chaplain role. And those people often are going to be relied upon heavily by the cadre at the school. So those that are former NCOs and officers, expect to help teach your fellow classmates on how to march, drill, and ceremony. Also, you're going to help them learn how to dress in their military uniform properly, things like that, and the little tiny customs and courtesies that come along the way. The cadre at CH-BOLC are going to lean heavily on you, so be prepared to do that and embrace it and have fun with it. And you know, remember, you're there to help serve your fellow classmates that are brand new to the military, and it's an awesome opportunity to help mentor them in the things that you're already aware of and already tracking. Let's talk about the CIMT phase, the Chaplain Initial Military Training phase. This is kind of like the basic training of the Chaplain Corps. Chaplains don't carry weapons, and so we don't go to like a regular basic training type environment where people are carrying weapons, because a lot of it's focused on the tactical stuff. Instead, what we are going to learn in the CIMT is how to be a soldier. It's going to stretch your body. Some of us have been pastors for a whole lot of time and maybe aren't super physical. It's going to push our bodies, but it's going to push it to a certain level so that way you don't get injured. They don't want to hurt you. They just want to make you stronger and faster. Also, the time hacks of getting certain projects done are going to be stressful. And there's going to be times where it seems like it's impossible. But that's part of the program. The idea is they want to help you get used to being uncomfortable. So in the military environment, sometimes an order will come down that's last second and you have to work hard to get that thing busted out really quick. And so CHBOLC will try to stress you out a little bit to get you used to being able to operate and perform at high levels while under stress, either physically or time-wise and things of that nature. So the idea is to get you to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Oftentimes in the civilian world, we avoid being uncomfortable, so we never get used to that feeling, and CHBOLC is there to help us overcome our avoidance of being uncomfortable. One thing to know is the cadre, if they're giving you these hard timelines that seem impossible to reach, or maybe they're pushing you physically and it sucks, well, embrace that, because really what they're trying to do is hone you into being a great soldier, which will help you be a great chaplain. Because you can't be a great chaplain if you're not a great soldier. So embrace it and know that it's part of the game, it's part of the development. Every pro football player has to go to training camp. Same thing with us chaplains. We have to go to our training camp if we want to be successful on the field. So CMIT lasts just a few weeks, and afterwards you're going to be given a little bit more freedom, a little bit more free time, and it's going to be a little less stressful, because then they're going to move more into the academic side where they really want to hone you as a chaplain. So what does the average day of a chaplain look like? So your average day looks like this. You're gonna have early morning PT or physical training, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna work out for about an hour and a half going through Army conditioning drills, and you're gonna do it whether it's raining or it's sunny. And when it's raining, sometimes it can be miserable, but you know what? Again, as soldiers, we need to be comfortable being uncomfortable and still being able to get the job done. So, you know, we're still gonna work out even if it's muddy and it's rainy. So expect that. Then after that, we're released to go have breakfast, take a shower, get ready, head to the classroom. And typically in the early morning, one of your classmates will do a word of the day, which is kind of like a mini sermon that's 5 minutes, and maybe introduce you to their faith tradition if it's one that you're not familiar with. And then from there, you move into the classroom setting. You're going to cover various topics, and we'll talk about what some of those topics are here in a few minutes. Then you go to lunch, and then after lunch, you come back for more classroom training. Then at the end of the day, what you end up doing is you clean up the classroom. The cadre may even do some physical training with you that you won't have any choice whether you do it or not, but it'll be fun. Then you'll be released for the night. To go get dinner, to go take care of personal things, and also to work on any individual or group homework that you may have. So the classroom instruction typically involves Army familiarization, I can't say that word that well, also Army doctrine and how to integrate those two things into your profession of being a minister. Specifically, they're going to focus on what it means to be a chaplain in the Army. And they're going to talk about chaplain identity and really honing in on that, making sure that when you leave the schoolhouse that you have adopted the chaplain identity. You're not a combat soldier, you're not a medical soldier, you are a chaplain, and they want you to know that and to walk in that. They're going to talk about things like accommodation of religious beliefs and religious liberty within the Army and how you help facilitate that as a chaplain. They're going to talk about morals and ethics and how your role as a chaplain is to help ensure our Army stays within ethical boundaries and to help our soldiers tackle moral issues that they may face. One of the things they're going to cover, and I wasn't quite sure how to word this, but it's basically they're going to help you learn how to do event planning in the Army. So that covers things like memorials, services, marriage retreats, maybe spiritual readiness or spiritual resilience events like taking the guys or gals out on a mountain biking trip, and how to incorporate spiritual or moral and ethical teaching into a trip like that. They're going to cover a wide variety of those types of events. So one of the other things I think is really important that a lot of chaplains have problems with is staff integration. How do you become a staff officer? How do you integrate with your staff, which is the group that kind of runs the organization that you're a part of? How can you be a team player in that type of setting? So they're going to talk about the military decision-making process, or what we call the MDMP, and run you through how that operates. They're going to teach you how to do a religious area analysis and a religious impact assessment. Those are different types of ways that we help our commanders and our staff and our team understand how religion affects and shapes the battlefield, so that way they can do their job better, because you're the subject matter expert when it comes to religion. So one of the other things they're going to cover, and this is something that a lot of chaplains need work on, is counseling, basic counseling skills. How do you do pastoral counseling? A lot of our master's programs maybe didn't really cover counseling a whole lot, but that's a big portion of what we do as chaplains. We're there to provide pastoral and spiritual counseling. How do we help couples through hard times, or a soldier through a hard time, is a vital part of our job. You know, currently as it stands in my career, I've averaged about a quarter of my work week counseling soldiers through difficult times. So physical training, something I already mentioned earlier, but it doesn't just happen in the morning time. It happens throughout the day at various times. Sometimes it's marching from point A to point B, things of that nature. But they really want to make sure that you're ready physically to be able to hang with the soldiers that you're going to be ministering to. So that's a part that is integrated throughout the course. So be prepared, it's fun, embrace it, and enjoy it. Now, what I just kind of described was kind of like the classroom type stuff. What I want to encourage you is, if you're one of those that have a lot of training in maybe counseling or preaching or one of the other many things, see yourself as a peer mentor for your fellow classmates that maybe aren't as trained in those areas. When you get your assignment done fast, just don't go play, but maybe help someone that is struggling that's in your class. The truth of the matter is we all need each other, and we all have deficiencies. And as a chaplain corps, when we work together as a team, we're 1,000 times better than if we're trying to do the whole Rambo chaplain thing where we're doing it only by ourselves. So start developing that skill set now of being a team player. CHBOLC is going to stretch you in a few different ways, and that's okay. Don't dread it. Look forward to it, because what that means is it's honing you and sharpening you as a chaplain. My faith tradition says iron sharpens iron, and I want to be sharp so I can do what God has called me to do. Really, what I want to encourage you to do is just have fun. Go there, love each other, love God, and have fun with it, knowing that some days are going to be tough, some days are going to be easy, but it's all going to be worth it. The cadre there, they love you. They are the cream of the crop, and they want to see you succeed, and they want to pass on a profession that they love onto the next generation. So get to know them, soak in everything that they have like a sponge, because they really do care about you, and they care about our soldiers that we are all going to be serving here shortly. So one thing to know is the Chaplain Corps is a small branch. It's a small corps. And I want to encourage you is, if you get offended with somebody, or if someone's not necessarily your style, don't burn bridges with that person, but develop a relationship, get past it, because you're going to bump into that person in the future, and you'd rather have that person as a team member than not. We want to love each other and model what we want our soldiers to be doing in the formations. So let's love each other, let's grow together, and let's serve God. Well, thanks for tuning in. That kind of covers the basis of what CHBOLC is like on a day-to-day basis. If you like this video, make sure to like and share it. If you have questions or comments, maybe I missed something, you've been to CHBOLC, put them in the comments down below. We are a learning community. I don't have all the answers, so let's learn from each other and grow together. And I will see you guys next time.
To somewhere else than where I lay my bags. It's so hard to stay up and don't hide away behind the same old mask.
Because there's so many different generalities.